Mr. Stewart, Minister Simmons, members of the Sandals team, of course, Professor Avinash Prasad, and my very good friends, Mr. Richard Edgell, Mr. Al Jukes, members of the media, staff of Sandals, who may one day be staff of Beaches. I'm fine, thanks. You know, as I sat there, I recalled that the property that you are seeing to the north of this property signaled the redevelopment of Barbados out of the last economic downturn that we had prior to this one. And on that occasion, I was a young minister, but I'd like to believe that I learned well. And all of the relevant players involved in making that transaction possible were brought into a room in order to be able to ensure that there was a synchronized approach towards development planning and permission in this country. On Tuesday afternoon, similarly, I convened another such meeting because I am deeply conscious, as was indicated, that subject to all of the relevant permissions being put in place, that this project will start in early January for the benefit of both the owners and shareholders of Sandals, but equally as important, the people and workers of Barbados. I therefore am happy to be associated here this afternoon and to say to you that I have every confidence that you are going to be in a position to start very shortly. The reality also is for us, as we have indicated, that this is part of the light that is necessary to bring hope and to help Barbados out of this very difficult set of circumstances. I told others this morning that I don't normally speak on the day before annual conference when I have to prepare a major speech for the year. And yet, I've had to break my own rule, and this is now the third such press conference and major speech for the day, and does not include a very critical meeting in between that. And why? Because in everything that I've done thus far for the day, it has been about the transformation of Barbados to a place where none of us had dreamt is possible within 5 short months of taking over what really was the worst economy that this country has experienced since independence. We have, as you know, to battle against very difficult debt and foreign exchange positions. But we are on course in the manner in which we have set out to get out of this difficult area and to be able to inspire Barbadians and those wanting to do business in Barbados that there's not only hope ahead of us, but there is the reality of true prosperity for all ahead of us. This morning, the Caribbean Development Bank exhibited its confidence in this country by providing a loan of $75 million that its board approved yesterday, because the Caribbean Development Bank accepts that the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Plan, the BERT plan, is a credible plan, and like the IMF before them, that it is capable of being executed to the benefit of all and to bring this country out of that very difficult situation. After that, I had the honor to launch the M-Money wallet, taking the dream of young Barbadians who established Bitcoin, who attracted investors from North America into the Bitcoin framework, and who wanted to be able to create the opportunities using technology for everybody to pay without having to walk with cash, to make it easier, more affordable, safer for each person to use, and for businesses in particular, less expensive because the transactional costs are so minimal for the M-Money wallet for persons to be able to use, and for ordinary consumers, free of charge. Their passion was facilitated by a regulatory sandbox being put in place over the course of less than 5 weeks, largely because we stuck to principle. And if you establish what the principles are, regulation becomes easy in every single respect. So that when we brought the Green Paper on Town Planning Reform, which debate closed on Tuesday in Parliament, it is because we believe that a 1965 piece of legislation cannot appropriately govern how we manage town planning and development as we go forward. And while we've been able to do it, it is a heavy load that we have had to lift, and we need to make it, and I'm sure that those of you who are interested, whether as householders or large investors like Sandals, in the development of this country and in activities that you want to do in this country, a more seamless process that is certain, that is clear, and that is more affordable is what everyone will want to see. And as to the event at hand, Barbados has to expand its offerings. And we have to do so because, in a very real sense, I keep making the point that the economic base upon which we are living is too small, both in terms of what we are doing in tourism as well as what we have been doing domestically. Sometimes in life, you get a little push, and you hear me in every speech now talking about the fact that we have to transform how we do business. And we're going to do it here across the board by ensuring that everything we do in this country is world class. That for us, there is going to be no difference between domestic and international. To simply put it, the world is our business, and our business is the world. And if that becomes the mantra of every Barbadian, then I am confident that we will come out of this not just successful, but in a way that allows us to show others in the world how it is possible to face adversity, to rise above it, and to fly high thereafter. I have the confidence in the Barbadian people, in the will, and in our attitude to be able to do so. It's not going to be sunny every day, and God knows, Jah knows, this week has not been an easy week in every respect. But in a sense, this week is reflective of what life is about. That there will be difficult days and decisions. But like today, there will also be moments when we can say that joy cometh in the morning. And if we stay the course, we will continue, yes, to have challenges. But we have a roadmap which we are meeting every step of the way that we're supposed to be at. We have met every step of the way thus far. And I am confident that if we work together, and if we believe in the mission, then we shall get there. I look forward not to standing here talking about beaches at Speightstown, but I look forward to, in 2.5 years or so, being able to see the kind of traffic. And for those to tell me, Prime Minister, we don't have enough space on the roads to move people down here, we need to make sure that you do something about the highway. Well, I am here to tell you that we won't wait for that complaint, because what we are already doing is looking at the planning to be able to move people from Grantley Adams Airport to Speightstown in a seamless way, such that it does not compound the very difficult traffic situation that the country already has. If we know where we are going, we can plan what we need to do. And that is a simple message I give to you, sir, and to your team, that we are happy, that we can work together, We know that there have been difficulties in the past with respect to what others have said and what we also have viewed perhaps as a difficult and egregious situation, but we have determined that we don't ever, ever view Barbados as a country that departs from the rule of law, and that we accept that those contractual obligations which were made are those which we continue to abide by, because this is a country who, above all else, abides by the rule of law. We want, however, to be able to allow as many hotels as our fiscal circumstances allow to enjoy the exact benefits that you currently enjoy. And whether that takes 6 months, 12 months, or 18 or 24 months, we feel that it is important from a values perspective to have a level playing field. And I've listened to you carefully. I've listened to you carefully about the importance of treating tourism as an export sector, in spite of the fact that persons physically come here. And that if we can remove as much of the costs that otherwise inhibit the competitiveness of this product, while at the same time ensuring that there is a way in which user fees can be carried to spread the burden fairly, then I think we can find a win-win situation. Is the government of Barbados at that point yet where we can fiscally afford that? No, we're not. Because I've just described to you that we have come out of the most difficult and most awful economic circumstances that this country has ever experienced. But as we come out of it, we are conscious that our goal must be to create that fair and transparent environment. And immediately, I can say that for those persons in the Barbados hotel sector who now currently have to go every 2 to 3 weeks to get a renewal from the Ministry of Tourism, I've indicated to the Minister of Tourism that that is unacceptable and that they should equally be allowed the same benefit that Sandals has now with respect to that which they are already enjoying, but only get it if they send somebody in a car, drive up to the Ministry of Tourism, wait and hope that somebody will write out a form, wait and hope that the minister will sign it amidst all of his other duties, collect the form, and take it back down the road. Now, if ever that was an unfair and an unfortunate set of circumstances, it is that. And I've asked that to be put on the back burner, and those who are now benefiting should be able to benefit by order in the same way that Sandals is benefiting. We give you the assurance that with us, what you see is what you get. And we will always be fair. But above all else, we will work together to make the best that we can make for you and for our people. Because in having a win-win situation for both, Barbados will not only rise from the ashes, but Barbados will become that beacon once again that people refer to as punching above its weight. Thank you, and God bless to this project.